Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So this week's video is going to be a pregnancy update and Q&A about all things that's been going on throughout pregnancy. But first of all, holy cow, I cannot believe everyone just kind of like subscribed onto this channel. I know it's just numbers for some people or it's not a big deal, but I am so thankful for everyone that's kind of like joined this community since our last few videos. So thankful that you're here. If it's your first time, my name is Melanda. I am a wife, a soon-to-be mama, and I cannot wait to just share more about motherhood and lifestyle and everyday things with you guys. That's what I'm really passionate about, and just kind of, I don't know, show my creativity through it. So today's video is gonna be a pregnancy update, and we're gonna get right into it because a lot has gone on since I last kind of like shared with you guys and just overall pregnancy. So let's get right into it. So I have like a timeline here of things that have been kind of going on. First trimester, that was a blur. It was the roughest blur ever. First trimester was just me trying to survive, to be honest. I was throwing up constantly a couple times a day, couldn't keep food down, and if I did, it had to be like steak, burgers sort of thing. So first trimester wasn't really my favorite, to be honest. It was just really rough. Just trying to like get my body acclimated to pregnancy. And it's just like you're bloated. I was bloated all the time. So didn't really, like document much honestly about first trimester just because my mind was just in a fog. I was trying to make it between working full time and being home and just resting and being on this couch right here. When we got into second trimester, I absolutely love second trimester. Once I hit 20 weeks is when my nausea kind of like went down a little bit. I was able to like really enjoy it. I could go for walks again. I felt like I could leave the house for more than just my job. It was really, really nice. I just felt happier. All the like the love hormones were like coming back, all those feelings. And plus, getting to feel baby is an unworldly feeling. It's I could cry. It's just beautiful. Like it's gorgeous about how this design that God has created of like a child and mother bonding through feeling kicks, feeling movements, and just have her move around and like flutter the first few weeks and then become like full kicks as she gets bigger has been awesome. So definitely loved second trimester. Then getting to third trimester, I feel like my body's and my mind kind of like clicks together saying, okay, we're pregnant and I'm gonna have a baby. And so still enjoying it, still kind of like riding this high. But for us, things kind of took a shift around third trimester. It was more so around like my 30-week appointment. We went in and baby's measuring small. This wasn't something that my doctors were surprised about or my midwives were like, how could this happen? Because I'm a very small person myself. I was very, very tiny when I was born. Probably around like 5 pounds something ounces, very tiny, very healthy. And so they were like, we're just gonna keep an eye on it. Nothing yet that's a concern. But a breath. So now baby is measuring small. We're kind of keeping an eye on her. There's nothing much I can do, taking prenatals when I can because I was throwing up so much in the first trimester. It was really hard for me to keep up with them. My appetite ramped way up second trimester, so I'm eating all sorts of things during third trimester now. Have no issues with that. Still nauseous, still throwing up, but not to a bad extent at this point. And so 30 weeks goes by, 32 weeks I have another appointment, and that's when things kind of, again, start taking a different change. At 30 weeks, baby's measuring at 17 percentile, right? They're like, hey, just keep an eye on this. If she goes down a little bit more, we're gonna have to do a little bit more tests, a little bit more scans on her just to see like how she's doing. 32 weeks, baby's measuring around 10 percentile, so she's decreasing. We still don't know why yet, but she's decreasing and they're like, okay, well, now we have to kind of get like the OBs, involved in because at that point I'd just been seeing midwives the whole entire time. Our plan had been to go to a birth center, connect to the hospital, and just kind of have like a little bit more of a low intervention birth plan, but clearly that has changed now. So 32 weeks, she drops down to 10%. I had some appointments going back and forth each week just to check on her sizing and everything, and we were scheduled for a deep dive of how she's doing. Went in, doctor came in and talked to us and was like, yeah, your baby is measuring small for size or small for gestational size, and like a risk factor, she's not severe, but she's mild, and she's now measuring at 4%. Once I heard that, of course, I'm overwhelmed. So I'm like, what can I do about it? Like, can I eat more? Can I take different supplements? And honestly, there's nothing I can do. Her abdominal sizing is what they kind of measure, her head circumference, her overall limbs. They check into all of these things just to see like how baby's doing. And she was just small for everything. Everything was just super small. Her abdominal size also was really, really small. But overall, she was 4% for her entire body size. So we hear that Thursday, and it was kind of like, it was kind of hard, you know, like mentally, like you're thinking of like all these things for your child and all these things for your first baby, and just hearing that was really difficult. Lots of emotions for sure, and just trying to process them in a way that I was like still trusting and leaning on God, but then also still feeling adequate for, you know, carrying this baby. Yeah, she was measuring at 4%. And I'm over here super sad, and Grant's an awesome, awesome rock for me to just like trust and lean on and just hear like what his advice has been. And so we go home, I go rest, and I get ready for work the next day. I usually work from like 7 a.m. until like, I don't know, 1, 2 o'clock, but this day I work from like 7 to almost 4 o'clock. I'm exhausted by the time that I'm done working. Tired, my feet are achy. I need to go home to rest, eat, all those type of things. So I leave, and when I left, I had like a headache. Didn't think much of it, went home, tried to rest up, try to do things because I'd like to clean and stuff. Nesting mode has been in full force. Nighttime comes and I'm having, guys, a splitting headache just right here on the side of my head. Splitting. It feels like I am just being like hammered on the side of my head, and I cannot keep my eye open. Like this eye had to be shut for me to just feel like a fraction of relief. And so I call my mom, I call my sister-in-law because she's also pregnant with me at the same time, and she's so knowledgeable at all things babies right now. And so I take a Tylenol. I'm like, cool, I'll take a Tylenol. It'll give me relief. It's an extra strength. Awesome. Take that. It only works for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm getting frustrated. I'm like chugging water, trying to like drink as much water as I can. That's cold. We have a fan running on me. I call my sister-in-law again. I'm like, this isn't helping. What do I do? She said, call the doctor. We call the doctor, and doctor's like, okay, like, I really want you to just like try to rest, put your feet up, take 2 more Tylenols, you know, just like to see if that helps. If it doesn't, come into the ER. We're gonna get you checked out. I do as she says. It doesn't help, doesn't get any better. By now it's 11 p.m. Grant and I go to the ER, and my feet are hurting, my hands are hurting, like my headache is like sort of there, and it had gone like in and out by this time. Not as severe, but also not completely gone. So we get there and they hook me up to my first IV. If you guys know me, I hate needles. I hate them so much. And so put in my IV, I'm over here squeezing Grant's hand, trying not to cry, but also trying to be strong and not be ridiculous while getting a shot. And so they draw my blood, they get a urine sample, and they give me Benadryl, and I knock out, y'all. That was the best sleep for however long it is, but I knock out. But when they took my blood pressure, this was a huge indicator, and that was, my blood pressure was 132/85, which was not like me this whole pregnancy. They're like, oh, it's high. And I was like, oh, it's high as well. Like, take it again, run that back. So they keep taking it again. It's still the same number. And by now, like, I'm like, you know, I'm getting nervous and stuff. And the NP comes in and was like, hey, we're gonna transfer you, keep you overnight, and just run tests in the morning. Let you know, like, what's going on and stuff, and so on and so forth. So Grant and I were wheeled to like a private suite, which is so nice. We both got to sleep, get some rest, and in the morning came over, did labs again, urine sample, blood pressure and everything. And when the doc came inside, that's when I kind of was like a little nervous because, hey, like, just want to give you like an update of what's going on. You have gestational hypertension. That pretty much is that my blood pressure is increasing because of this pregnancy and all that's going on. Long story short, my placenta is not adequately giving baby girl the nutrition she needs. And with that, it's increased my blood pressure because it's working overtime to compensate for what it's giving her, so on and so forth. It's like this like transactional thing. So my blood pressure is spiking up. Also with like the scans we have of baby girl, she is now qualified for IUGR, intrauterine growth restriction. She is 1% away from being severe. Right now she's like in the mild case of it, but she asked me like how my work schedule is like. I told her and she's like, yeah, you're done working. No more of that. I'm officially now on moderate bed rests, and for me and my busybody self, that was hard to hear. But what's also harder is just like that she is now under this umbrella of high risk, that a few weeks ago we were doing well and now it's just high risk. And with all the information that they gave me, she is coming at 37 weeks. They don't want her to stay any longer or any shorter than that. They want her to get to full term and then induce, and then from there for her to be born. With that induction, that kind of changes a lot for the birth plan for us. It changes where we can have it, such as the birth center, that is a no-go anymore. How we can have it, it will be continuous monitoring to just make sure that she is tolerating birth well, because typically babies at the small size, it's said that they don't tolerate birth well, their blood pressure kind of dips, and so yeah, I want to keep an eye on that. It also means that I could possibly be put on Pitocin, which is not what I wanted, but that's best for what to get baby girl here safely. That's what we'll do. But it also changed my views on epidural and pain management and all these things. And I think the scariest thing for me is that the increased risk of a C-section. This kind of increases it to like 40%, I think it is. Don't quote me. It just increases our risk for C-section because of her size, because of my blood pressure, and just the overall combination of those two things together. And so they're trying to keep me healthy. They're trying to keep baby healthy as much as possible in these next few weeks. And so this has been really difficult. It's just a change of plans, and I don't do well with change of plans. I like things as they are, especially like if they've been kind of going that way in that direction for a while. But with her size kind of declining and stuff throughout the weeks, I'm glad to know this now before we get into labor and it changes then, you know? So this gives me time to mentally prepare. But I have such a great family unit around me on both sides to just kind of like help out and just mentally prepare for this. But it has been hard, you know? And one Bible verse that I have been kind of keeping in my heart and kind of thinking about has been Psalm 34, verse 4. It says, I sought the Lord and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. And I am trying my best, y'all, to lean on him. I am trying to just trust him. This is out of my control. The best I can do is just stay hydrated, rest well, and be off my feet. And just do the best I can to just nourish my body and prepare it for labor, because that will be kind of like, we don't know which way it's gonna go sort of thing. So induction will be happening pretty soon in the next few weeks. I'm just praying so fervently that she will be here safely and in the best way that she needs to be, just because there's so many things that I don't want but I know might be the best for her. And that's part of being a mom, just having that sacrificial heart and just understanding that this is what's best for her. So that is the update right now for baby girl. It's just a lot, but I'm very thankful we caught this now instead of later. I would have kept working. Girl, I would have kept working until the day that I went into labor if I could have, but that definitely was not the right plan and not something that was giving me the best health for baby girl. So I'm glad that I got this forceful break, and I really hope that I'm able to just enjoy these last few weeks just nesting and preparing the house for her soon arrival and getting here. So all right, my battery died, but guys, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe down below. I would really appreciate that for you guys to be part of this community and join in, and to just kind of enjoy these next few days and next few weeks with us as we prepare for baby girl. All right, you guys have a good rest of your day. Take care.